Okay.
Watch out, cause I'm here now and I'm staying. Claws out, this the fight that I've been craving. I know there's something inside of me, but it's been masked by fear and anxiety. But no more, I'ma break out of the chains quietly. I'm waking up, this ain't enough. All of my dreams were starting to rust, but I believe that I can adjust. Positive thoughts, I'm starting to trust. Nothing's deserved unless you work. Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that gave me will, some power, a surge. And they know that I won't surrender, so they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember, yeah. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great.
Welcome into Overtime Arkansas. You can see I'm here in a press box right now. We're at Rector, Arkansas. We're the number one team in 8-man and 2A 8-man. The Rector Cougars came up with a big victory in the uh, rematch of the state championship game as they won 56-16 over the ICC Cougars. We do appreciate them. Lots of sponsorship coming through there. We'll talk about them in a minute. Man, Rector really supported us tonight. We appreciate them. Um, Israel County as well. They jumped in on us as well, and we'll touch base with them in a little bit. But let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. Bill, do you have? I know you're looking. I can see your screen there. Do we have those interviews for Rector? Can we pull those up? He's going to him right now. You can see Rector again once in our game of the week over Industry County, uh, 56-16, and we've got their head coach and quarterback Drew Henderson. He had a fantastic game. He was our D3 Auto Sales Player of the game, and we're going to go to them here in just a moment.
We're back here from Rector with the winning coach, Dave Hendricks of the Rector Cougars. Huge win tonight over Israel County, a rematch of the state championship last year, 52-16. Talk to me about what you'd like to see from your team tonight.
Physicality. That's what we have to hang our hats on. We have to be physical. You know, they're a good football team.
Yes, they really are.
They can throw that thing, and their quarterbacks, they have receivers and their running backs, and have a good line. Their quarterback is top notch, and he did a heck of a job tonight.
Yeah, what we really talked about that in the broadcast was, I mean, he really threw the ball well. He put it on the numbers. There was a couple drops here and there, but he was running for his life, and you got to give credit to y'all's line and your physicality and your linebackers and safeties coming up at times and really making him move. They were moving the pocket, but they had a lot of size. Gabe Spray, one of their top receivers, he did get that big touchdown late in the game. I mean, that guy can move when he got the ball. Y'all did an excellent job on him, though, overall. Tell me about as your season kind of goes on. I want to say you're 5-0 now, 4-0 or 5-0?
5-0 with a forfeit, but
right. Yeah. And so, kind of what do you got coming up? Who are you playing next week?
Brinkley. It'll be another tough one.
Oh yes,
it'll be another tough one. They're a good club.
Yeah, definitely a top 5 team in the polls. Brinkley is, and of course y'all been number 1 by just about everybody for the last several weeks. Really impressive showing tonight. Talk to me a little bit about what you got to do just to keep going on this winning path like you've been doing.
Just got to keep doing what we do, be physical, and stay healthy with an injury bug. We just got to stay healthy.
One last question for you, Coach. That play right before half when he scored in 34 seconds, the lateral that Scott did. What were you thinking in your mind at the moment?
That's how we drew it up.
Okay. The old Matt Jones backyard play, right?
Yeah, that was one of those kids that big players make big plays.
Yes, sir.
You know.
That was huge. Well, I want to appreciate it again. We got Dave Hendricks here, the winning coach for Rector Cougars, 52-16. They took down a great Israel County team, and they're moving on, staying number 1 in our polls. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, we're here with Mr. Drew Henderson, who is, by the way, our D3 Auto Sales Player of the Game. Drew Henderson had an unbelievable night as Israel County Rector was able to take down Israel County, too many Cougars, 52-16. They really showed out here. Drew, talk to me about the game, what y'all's game plan was going into it, and what y'all were able to do out here and how it worked out for you.
Well, you know, on the offensive side of the ball, we knew we'd be able to move the ball. We had to be tough, couldn't shoot ourselves in the foot. And then on defense, we had to slow down the passing game a little bit, which we did a good job of. Our line was great getting that to do that.
Yeah, that was one thing we touched on in the broadcast all night was Ashton, number 17, Scott. Yeah, Scott, him, and big number 72, Mosley. Yep. They were able to get through there all night, put pressure. It wasn't just them two, but those were 2 of the main culprits. Put pressure on the quarterback, Wyatt Buchanan for Israel County, and it really made his life tough. They were having to move the pocket. If they didn't move the pocket, he didn't have a chance. Right, he made a lot of good plays still, but overall it was just too much for him. And talk to me about what we got as the play of the game. Probably one of the best plays we've seen ever, really, but definitely of the season. Right before half, you had, 34 seconds, I think, to drive down to score.
34 seconds down there, probably about a 70-yard drive.
About a 70-yard drive. You throw the ball. Talk us through it real quick.
Well, first things first, I fumble snap around a little bit, get back pressure, barely get the ball. And I just pick it up, and I see Scott right next to the power line. I just throw it up, throwing a prayer up. Right. He catches it, and he just stands still. And I'm like, what's he doing? And I realized he wasn't in. And he flips it to number 2, Carter Hill. Right. And he runs in, and I think that might have been the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Right. That was one of the coolest plays. It was a real heady play by Scott to see Hill there to think about it. He couldn't get in the end zone. Last play of the half, which it might have been one of those plays that's got your coach kind of screaming, what are you doing? Because, that could go the other way and change the trajectory of the game. The guy picks it up, runs it back 95 yards or so. But that didn't happen, and y'all were able to score. That was awesome. Second half, they had a chance there if they come out strong, but y'all just shut it down real quick and were able to just score. I know we had 4 possessions in a row y'all were able to go down and score, going back to that one right there before half. Tell me about some of your offensive linemen. What's it like running behind them?
I love all of them. They all get after it every play. I'm never disappointed with how they do it. If they mess up, they take accountability. They fix it the next play.
Yes, sir. It's got to be fun running behind guys like Mosley, which I know he plays more defense than offense, I think, but he plays both. Who else you got on the line that kind of opens a hole for you?
You got Gage Thompson.
Yes.
He's an absolute dog. So is
Yes.
Dalton Lamar. He's a dog.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we called both their names a couple times.
Ashton Scott on there. He's another dog, too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. This is our first ever 8-man game to do. We were kind of excited.
Our backs, they blocked great, too. Carter Hill,
Yeah.
Kay Nader, Braden Thompson. I know he got hurt in the first half, but he did a great job blocking. So did
Yes,
Grayson
sir.
Bryant. Everybody
Yes,
did
sir.
a great job blocking.
It was definitely a total team effort. Y'all really looked good, and like I was saying, this is our first ever 8-man game to broadcast, and it didn't disappoint. It was really exciting actually, and a lot of fun. I kind of thought that going in. I like to watch Texas 6-man a little bit in my spare time. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit, but just a lot of fun. And y'all, we were really shocked when we got here about the size of your team. I mean, not your overall numbers, but the guys' size. You know how big y'all were.
We worked in the weight room a lot.
Yeah, definitely. You could tell for sure. We got you listed as 5'10", 175, but I mean, you look every bit of that and showed a lot of speed out there and did a great job tonight in the open field. That's about all we got. But Drew Henderson, our D3 Auto Sales player of the game, big night, 3 or 4 touchdowns, 52-16. It might have been more. I don't want to cheap you any because he threw one too. But great night. That's all from right here at Rector.
That was Duran Miller and Drew Henderson, our D3 Auto Sales player of the game. He had a fantastic game. I'll tell you right now, they've got some kids that can play ball up here at Rector. Drew Henderson, a guy that was unbelievable tonight. We may have had the play of the year tonight. We'll have to get that out there, get the call out there tonight. That was a lot of fun. If you didn't see it, 5 seconds left in the half. Drew Henderson drops back to pass, throws it up, and Ashton Scott comes down with it. Ashton Scott, 6'3", 225-pound kid that is ready. I mean, I think he's got a Lyon College offer, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, comes down with it on the 3, no time left. Instead of letting them bring him down, he pitches it back to Carter Hill. Carter Hill scores a touchdown, and they finish the half off. They grabbed the momentum and went on to a 56-16 win. On the phone right now, we've got Josh Martin of Crossett, and Crossett fell tonight in a nice, really good game between Warren and Crossett. Josh, tell us a little bit about that ball game tonight.
That game was listed as a 4A game of the week for overall 4A, and it definitely lived up to the hype. Warren won by a final score of 49-42. Warren jumped out to a 7-0 lead on the opening drive in under a minute. Jackson Denton is as good as advertised for a ninth grade quarterback, especially playing varsity football. Like I said, Warren jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Crossett come back and tied it. Warren actually took a 21-7 lead at one point. Crossett was able to fight back, make it 21-14, and it was 28-14 going into the half. Crossett got the football to start the second half and took the opening kickoff down the field, drove the field, scored, and made it a 7-point ball game. Forced some turnovers, actually tied the football game up, and had an opportunity again. It made the score 35-40. Then Warren took a lead again, went up 35-42, and then Crossett actually had to turn the ball over on downs, and Warren went up 49 rather to 35, and then Crossett was able to. With about 3 minutes to go in the ball game, Crossett got the ball back after they kicked off and went down the field in 45 seconds. There it is. 45 seconds, made it a 7-point ball game, 42-49, and actually did an onside kick and recovered it, but wasn't able to punch it in again there and turned it over on downs, which resulted in Warren getting the football back. And they actually kind of looked like they wanted to go in and try to take another touchdown. Warren did try to get the 13-point tiebreaker point that you're allowed to carry over, but weren't able. They ended up just settling to get out of town on the win. Crossett did a good job on defensively against Warren. We had 2 interceptions, and then forced 5 fumbles. They lost 4 of them. So Warren never punted, but they did fumble the ball 4 times and threw 2 interceptions. Crossett turned the ball over 2 fumbles and 1 interception. So a little bit sloppy there during the ball game, but as far as overall, nice, definitely competitive ball game. Warren should make a bigger run into the playoffs again. The benefit CrossFit, I think, is going to make a pretty good run on it. Hopefully, we play for that 2 seed. We got DeWitt coming to town next week. They're undefeated in the conference, so that's going to be another tough ball game here in CrossFit as DeWitt will be in town. That's probably going to be for the number 2 seed in the conference as Warren gets the win tonight. That should probably secure them the 1 spot.
That's a big game over there in CrossFit next week between DeWitt and CrossFit. Going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have our eyes on that one. And Josh, we really appreciate you joining us here on Overtime Arkansas and supporting us. And man, you guys, I think you proved something tonight over there in CrossFit, and I think you really got a good shot at that number 2 spot. But DeWitt is going to have something to say about that this next week.
That's right. DeWitt's done a lot this year. They had everybody thought they were going to have a rebuild year. They graduated a lot last year, but they've come out this year. And so far, they're undefeated in conference after beating our cross-county rivals tonight by a final score of 45-28. So they'll come to CrossFit next week undefeated as well.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go right now, and we appreciate you joining us, and we'll stay in touch with you.
I appreciate you guys.
All right. That's Josh Martin.
Right.
He's the play-by-play voice of the CrossFit Eagles. Is that right? They don't sound right. Is that right?
That is correct, Brad.
Okay, making sure. It doesn't sound right now. We've got Alan Russell going to come on with us here in a moment. I haven't reached out to anybody else or I haven't gotten any other. I've reached out to Coach Jones at Lamar and Greg Kaufman over there at Pottsville. Pottsville had a big victory tonight. Let's go to the games of interest scoreboard if we can. We've got Warren over Prescott or across it, I should say, 49-42. Prescott wins 49-14 over Junction City, and that was at Junction City. Benton takes on Marion, beats them 61-23. Bill, you've got highlights of that one. Is that right? Let's go ahead and do that one right now as Benton takes on Marion, wins big. Really takes a good step in that 5-8 or 6-8 East, I should say. The Benton Panthers really coming along lately. They really, early kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they look like they have hit their stride. Of course, everybody knows Braylon Russell, big time player there that is committed to the University of Arkansas. They've got other guys though, and really well coached over there. Got a great staff and Marion came in as a team that was, I believe they ranked 3rd this week in our 6A poll. They benefited from a Pulaski Academy loss last week to jump up in there, but it looks like that they'll fall down a little bit after this loss. And like I said, Benton Panthers are looking pretty good as they move on with a 61-23 victory over Marion. So big time there. Benton's got a great stream, by the way. So does Marion. Both of those guys over there do a great job. Let's go back to that games of interest scoreboard if we can. So this is kind of the top 9 games that we looked at. Bentonville drops Fort Smith Southside, their second loss in a row, 50-35. Harmony Grove, Ouachita County beats Walnut Ridge 39-28 in a conference game. That's kind of an odd deal there, Somehow they're ended up in the same conference. Camden Fairview bounces back with a big win over Texarkana. Arkansas High 28-8. Greenwood keeps doing what Greenwood does, 35-7. Pottsville over Bauxite 40-14. It's one of the big wins of the night in the state of Arkansas. And the Monticello Billies keep rolling with a 34-14 victory over Dumas. Let's go to the 2A's top 10 scoreboard. And I'll tell you what, let's do this, Bill. Let's go to commercial. Let me get Alan on the phone with us, and then we'll come right back.
It's so hot, you're going to think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not going to believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
Not much. We're at commercial, but we're about to come back here.
Okay.
Everyone tells
Yes.
you to think
Hey,
about the future,
Gavin, bro.
but we know
I
there's
get Jalen
growth
Capri on with us
in
on
the
three-way,
journey.
conference call.
At ATU, we value this moment
I got
because
Jalen's number
here,
and everything.
nature
He said he'd be
becomes
interested
your
in talking to
classroom.
both me and you. He said
So breathe it in.
Tonight,
You've
he had
got
a hell of a
this.
game. So I mean, if
Right here,
if you would like to,
right where you are.
I think it would be cool
Focus
to let
on the
him come
now. Because
well,
our
if we can
focus
get him
is on
smoothly,
your
how about
success.
that? But yeah, we can do that.
There comes a time in all of
Okay,
our lives
okay,
when we
I'll,
need the help of legal
I guess
services.
after
Well, let
Alan
Leah
and everything,
Jacobs
I'll
at
call,
Heirloom Legal at
I'll
425
call him
North
and see what I
Church
can
Street
do,
in
and
Atkins
Just,
be your
yeah,
go-to
just-
when
just
you
shoot
are
me a
needing
text.
assistance. If you're needing a will or a trust,
Alright,
maybe you're
appreciate
helping
it.
an
Bye.
elder parent with Medicaid issues, or planning on opening a brand new business, maybe you have another legal need.
Big time.
Jacobs can help you
Good,
plan
man.
your next
Good.
step. That's Heirloom Legal,
There you are.
helping families build and protect their legacy through estate, elder, and business planning. Call 501-819-2553, and walk-ins are welcome.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise.
Well, I got
To
Alan on
always
here,
keep
so
it
we'll just
real.
go with Alan.
To always keep it Tyson.
Hey,
All right, we got Alan Russell on the phone with us here. As he was at the 8-man game between Brinkley and Augusta. Tell us a little bit about what happened over there tonight.
Well, it was homecoming night in Brinkley. A lot of big turnout over there at Brinkley tonight. A lot of excited people went home. They have a quarterback, Mitchell Hicks, Brad. He is dynamic with the football in his hand. He broke off a run. Augusta was up 14-12 right before the half. He broke off a run about 70 yards down the home sideline, and two-point conversion failed. And what's crazy is right at the end of the third quarter, Augusta drove down and scored, took the lead back 22-20 for the two-point conversion. And then what's crazy is number 5 right at the end of the third quarter did exactly the same thing. He broke loose at the very end of the third quarter, very last play. How often do you hear that? Right last plays in 2 quarters back to back, and game-changing plays at that. Anyway, Brinkley would go on to win the game 32-22. Augusta had its opportunities tonight. A lot of turnovers for both squads.
Well, Alan, while I got you on the phone here, let's talk a little bit just in general. You seen anything in general tonight that has jumped out to you?
I think if they can put it together, Brinkley has a squad. They have a back. What was his name? Is Harris. He is 6'2", 230. He got loose there. He was the one that got loose at the end of the third quarter for about a 50-yard run. And he on defense from his defensive linebacker spot. On the other side, Chapel was as good as advertised. He's a big body, but he's able to make guys miss in space. And he don't play like a big body kid, Brad. He's good. Both have talent. I think Brinkley has just a few more numbers than Augusta. I think Augusta had 12 kids tonight, so that may come back and hurt them down the stretch here if they're trying to make a run here. Only having 12 kids, that's going to hurt them a little bit, I believe.
You think so? Tell us. I mean, are you seeing anything else? Hearing anything else about tonight's action? Is there anything that really sticks out to you?
Across the state?
Yes.
Well, Martree, I was trying to get a score on that one. Last I looked was 52-36. What the final end up being on that one? I thought that was big. Martree finally, playing somebody that, is pretty decent, and how they were able to put 52 on the board. Do you have a final on that one?
Off the top of my head, I don't, but I'll look for you here in just a minute.
I got you. If you're asking me, I think CrossFit surprised a lot of people tonight, Brad. I know a lot of people was looking at Warren is going in there and dominating that football game, and CrossFit. Hats off to CrossFit where they was able to get in there with a tough Warren.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, that CrossFit and DeWitt game next week is going to be something.
Yes, sir. I think so. As the gentleman you just had on there just a second ago, he's correct. That'll probably be for the second place.
in the conference, but yet DeWitt still has a shot to play Warren, I believe, here down the stretch, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So that could be that's in DeWitt too, I believe. So that could be
Have I lost you there?
yeah, just for a second. I know when we were over.
Yeah. You got a tough connection there, Alan.
Yes, sir. And another one is.
We're going to have to cut that call off there. It just not quite there. The final of that Mark Tree and Earl game that he was looking for was 52-44. That was the final score there in that one. We don't have a 2A top 10 board there. No real scores there. Let's go to the 4A top 10 board, and let's take a look at what happened in the 4A. 4A is always an interesting classification. Got a lot of good teams in it. Harding Academy over Lone Oak. They're our number one team in the state, 45-14. Malvern wins big. I heard Jalen Dupree had a nice game tonight. Jalen's one of our top ones in the D3 Auto Sales MVP award. That's about to get hot and heavy. We're about to start making some cuts. And that one, Elkins over Huntsville 63-0. Warren beats Cross at 49-42. Rivercrest hammers Harrisburg. They were up big in the first quarter. We were looking at that one. DeWitt over Hamburg 45-28. DeWitt Cross it matching up next week. Monticello, you can't leave them out of the conversation in the 8-4A. They win this week. CAC over Mayflower 50-34. Gravette 36, Lincoln 34, and Ozark takes a big victory over Green Forest 41-6. Let's move on to the 5A. In the 5A, we have Parkview doing their thing, 55-7 over D Queen. We've got Shiloh Christian over Clarksville, 53-10. Maumelle picked up a victory over Mills last night. That's a huge win for the Maumelle team. They won 34-28. And let's see here. Valley View beats Forest City 54-20. And let's see. Pine Bluff picks up a victory over BB 20-14. Camden Fairview over Arkansas High 28-8. Hot Springs over Hope 53-13. Magnolia takes down Lakeside 28-21. Getting some information here. Jalen Dupree, 11 carries, 226 yards, 5 touchdowns. And he is going to be in one of those D3 Auto Sales player of the week discussions, as long as he as well as the player of the year or MVP as well. Let's see here. Let's go to 6A real quick. 6A, you've got Greenwood 35-7. Benton going to move up in the polls, 61-23 over Marion. Pulaski Academy bounces back with a 35-14 win over Mountain Home. West Memphis over Catholic tonight. That's a tough one for Catholic. Big win for West Memphis, 21-7. Van Buren 49-28 over Lake Hamilton. Let's move on to 7A. In the 7A, Conway's our number one team in 7A. They have been all year long, 36-7. Bryant over Jonesboro, 42-14. That was an interesting matchup considering that Bryant, their head coach, left Jonesboro after taking that job just a few months. He had it and he moved back to Bryant where he was the defensive coordinator. Fayetteville over Rogers, 47-42. And Bentonville over Southside, 50-35. Cabot takes down Little Rock Southwest, 38-12. Bentonville West over Springdale, 47-22. We've got some highlights here that we want to get to. The Pottsville Apaches, big win over Bauxite. Again, you're talking about a team that is playing very well right now. Pottsville Apaches, you got Miller Mahan at quarterback, a kid that has kind of really given Pottsville a lift. I think he's a kid that they've been trying to figure it out for a while now, how to get quarterback play like this, and they're really getting good quarterback play right now. And he's not the only one. They've got several kids that can take the ball, and you're seeing right here, and I'm not getting a great look at who is. That was number 11, I believe, on the carry. And man, I'll tell you what, Pottsville's come up on the 4A4. They are now 4-0 in the 4A4 this year, and that was a big win at Bauxite for them. And we're trying to get Coach Greg Kaufman on with us, but Coach Kaufman, I guess he maybe hung up or whatever. But man, Pottsville's looking like a team that they're going to be pushing real quick into that top 10. You got Pottsville and CAC coming up next week. That's a big matchup. They're in the 4A4. You're talking about 2. I think CAC right now, we've got them at number 8. And Pottsville is going to be, up in close to that top 10 range for sure after the win tonight. So congratulations to Pottsville. They look good. Best ball they've played in quite some time over there in the River Valley. Well, Bill, I think I've got one more call here. That let's go ahead and let's go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to try to get Jalen Dupree on with us from Malvern as they beat Waldron 48-0. And he had another Jalen Dupree type of ball game. So let me see what I can do, and we'll come back here in just a few moments.
It's so hot, you're going to think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not going to believe these prices. Okay. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right.
He said that he ain't gonna
Everyone
be able to
tells
do
you
Okay.
to think about the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you
But
want,
we know there's growth in the journey. At ATU, we value this moment because here, nature becomes your classroom. So breathe it in. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
There comes a time in all of our lives when we need the help of legal services. Well, let Leah Jacobs at Heirloom Legal at 425 North Church Street in Atkins be your go-to when you are needing assistance. If you're needing a will or a trust, maybe you're helping an elder parent with Medicaid issues, or planning on opening a brand new business, maybe you have another legal need. Jacobs can help you plan your next step. That's Heirloom Legal, helping families build and protect their legacy through estate, elder, and business planning. Call 501-819-2553, and walk-ins are welcome.
We're gonna wrap it up here. Well, we thought we might get Jalen Dupree on the line. Maybe next time we'll get him. But 11 carries, 226, and 5 touchdowns for him. What a night he had. And guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Bill, you're on that other side there. Glad you're here once again, being able to produce from Pea Ridge. We had our own issues tonight. We were able to overcome them, and we're glad. Let me go through this real quick on our sponsors. Because they did also sponsor the scoreboard show tonight, which we appreciate the folks at Rector. They really got behind us tonight. It was a great showing by them and their team, but also just being so generous and wonderful to us. Let me get the Rector sponsors in here. You've got Wise Marine Seating, Piggott Health Systems, Sigsby Realty, Centennial Bank, Glen Sane Auto, Cornerstone Roofing. They're out of Jonesboro, and Harps, Ed's Automotive, Mosley Auto Parts, and also Travel Planners here in Rector as well. They have joined us for the scoreboard show. We appreciate them. Michelle, you can contact her and get yourself an opportunity to take a vacation somewhere. On the Izard County side, you had Horseshoe Bend Insurance, United Country Realty, Moody Realty there in Izard County, AJ's Automotive and Diesel Repair, 870-322-7122 if you need something, and Trico Quarry and Paving. So Appreciate every one of them. I tell you right now, guys, when we do these games, you get the local sponsors. It helps us tremendously. Don't even know. We are looking for a game of the week next week. I can tell you, coaches, administrators, if you're watching right now, and you guys can help us out, we'd love to be a part. And so we'll be looking. We'll put that out on the page next week tomorrow, because tomorrow is next week for us. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here from Rector. We've got a 4-hour drive home, and we need to get in the car and get home. So
you don't have any of those mosquitoes in the car this time.
Right. I'm telling you, I'm actually killing bugs as we speak. So anyway, we do appreciate Bill and everybody that helped us out tonight. It's been a great time here from Rector. It was nice to be able to get some 8-man action in, and all the proud sponsors that helped us do it. We appreciate them so much. And next week, we'll be looking for a game of the week. If you want Arkansas Sports Network to come give your game some attention, just let us know. We'd love to be a part. Well, anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here from Rector. This was a big win over here at Rector. 52-16 was the final score. Man, they looked good. There's going to be some movement in the polls. There always are in the weeks as each week closes out. And we'll be looking for or be looking for your team. What'd you say, Bill?
That's what I like about conference football season.
That's right. It's right in the middle of it. We love it. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and close things out here. Appreciate you joining us here on OTA, and we'll see you next week.